Surely if you are an economics student or economist, you will have studied the quantity theory of money. This theory has generated debate over time. But what is the quantity theory of money? And how it relates to the world of soccer? Well, here at Football Economy I'll explain it to you, a channel only for sports intellectuals. What is the quantity theory of money? It is an economic theory that states that the money supply is directly related to the level of prices of goods and services. That is, if the money supply increases, the prices of goods will increase, which generates inflation. To calculate the value of money, I set up the following equation, where M is the money supply, that is, the amount of tangible and non-tangible money circulating in the economy. V equals is the velocity of circulation of money. That is, the number of times money changes from hand to hand. P equals general level of prices in the economy. Y equals is the national income of a country, that is, the real gross domestic product. Knowing the equation, economists state that the velocity of money in circulation is constant. That is, it does not vary, and that an increase in the money supply when the GDP level is constant. The only thing that will generate this change in the money supply is the increase in the prices of goods and services. Although other economists suggest that the velocity of circulation of money and GDP are constant in the short term, so in the long term it can vary, either increase or decrease. They maintain that if the money supply increases, there is not necessarily inflation in the economy in the short term, since there may be a lot of money in the economy, but if the speed of money circulation does not increase, then there is no need for prices to increase at short term. That is, it depends on the economic agents what to do with the money, whether to save and spend only what is necessary or to spend as much money as possible. For example, in the United States during the pandemic, the Federal Reserve increased the money supply. But it did not generate high levels of inflation because the economic agents did not spend more than necessary. How does this theory apply to the world of soccer? Soccer is the most popular sport that currently exists, so every day it attracts new viewers and investors. The more viewers, the more money enters this industry, which generates a significant economic and financial impact. As the clubs have more income, such as the sale of television rights, the increase in sponsorships and the sale of tickets, the amount of money available in the market can increase. The price of players increases, because every time there are clubs that are willing to pay very high figures for players, and also the salaries are very high. That is to say, it can reach an overvaluation of the player. Although it is clear that the price of the player also depends on other econometric variables. The quantity theory of money can also have an impact on monetary policy in relation to football. For example, if the government decides to increase the money supply, this can have a significant impact on consumers as they have more money to spend, thus breaking even as the price of tickets and jerseys increases. The airlines also benefit as the demand for flights increases and the price of tickets increases. It can also have an impact on the investment and growth of football in different regions of the world. For example, in countries with high inflation and a lot of money circulating in the economy, clubs may find it difficult to obtain financing and attract long-term investors. Term. This is because inflation causes the currency to depreciate, that is, to lose value, which reduces its long-term profitability. Investors may also have difficulty estimating the future costs of their projects, making it more difficult to make informed decisions and increasing the risk of financial loss. Another consequence is financial inequality. Every time we see how investment funds and independent businessmen buy most or all of the shares of a club, and as a consequence it can lead to a greater concentration of talent in a limited group of teams, so it is increasingly difficult for teams with lower purchasing power to retain their stars. Therefore, although this may make a league more competitive, it also makes it less equitable because rich clubs are always more likely to win everything. Although it also depends on the philosophy of the club in which to invest when you have a lot of money. Decrease in local talent. It is increasingly common to observe and analyze that in the leagues where more money circulates, more foreign talent has. In the Premier League alone, 60% of its players are of foreign origin, while the other 40% is local product, although this partly has to do with the Bosman Law. This can benefit other countries more than your own country. But not all are negative consequences. An increase in the money supply can also make clubs invest in remodeling or building new stadiums, invest in club training and technology, as we see, for example, the VAR or the Hawkeye in marketing campaigns to attract more fans and make this sport more attractive to the eyes of the beholder. If you liked this video, give it a like and subscribe. There are still many topics to explain and specify, but I will leave that for my next videos. Leave me in the comments what you thought of this video, and I hope you have understood the quantity theory of money and how it affects the world of soccer.